What is good? Welcome into Driving the Nightline. My name is Alan Bell. Big staring bets. Mosh, what's up, brother? How we doing?
We're having a good day. Bring the kid to work today, which basically means I get to leave early because who's going to pick him up?
Yep. You know what? That's the question of the day. Who the hell's going to go pick them up? They're little badasses. I love it, man. We've got a big show for you. I know that the AM show today was brutal, man. Trying to get through that. I did the best that I could. I tried, but it was brutal. But got it all fixed up, man, and we're good to go. We're going to have a big show today. So we'll jump into it, man, and go ahead and hit the picks. Let me give out our man Prince of Picks. Let me give his out first, and then I'll throw it over to you, but man. He's going with the Pistons team total over 106.5. Thunder first half -4.5, and the Nuggets team total over 103.5. Our man Prince of Picks is 13-2 in his last 15 plays in the NBA. My man is crushing it. All right, big staring bets. Throwing it over to you, buddy. What you got?
All right. As I'm anxiously watching the Rockies and Royals go well over what I expected them to ever go over, we've got the Orioles and Nationals. We got a great baseball game today. Temperatures in the mid-70s. These are they're really rivals. I lived in Baltimore for a few years and worked in D.C. They're very close to each other. A lot of people, there's an animosity. And we're, finishing out the series here. I really thought that we were going to see more runs the last few days. We get to fade Cade Povich on the mound, who has struggled last year and this year. He ended last year with a road ERA of 7.89. His underlying metrics are tough, rough. The Nats are on a tear right now. They're the sixth best hitting team in multiple metrics. They're averaging over 5 runs a game. Baltimore is more in the middle of the pack, but they're still averaging more than four runs a game on the road. What else can we say? Mackenzie Gore, really not someone that you kind of want to fade all that often, but his biggest strength is really his strikeout rate and his whiff rate. And the one thing that Baltimore is good at is not striking out. They're third best in not striking out on the road. I really think that he gets hit. Please read my article for specific stats and metrics that I all put in there. But I'm just going to root for runs. I do think that the Nationals get out to an early lead, but we all know that the Nationals bullpen cannot hold it. So let's root for runs. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I got one more pick though. I emailed you like 10 minutes ago as I was watching the Rockies blast Reagan, which is not good for my earlier pick, but good for my later pick because it is super hard to sweep on a doubleheader. Super hard. I gave all of the stats and metrics and explanations yesterday. Do yourself a favor, grab the Royals plus money, -1.5. Honestly, fade them however you want. I don't think the Rockies are going to be able to score. They're averaging under 2 runs a game. Period. End of story. Fade them.
Fade them. There we go. All right. Who are the Royals playing?
Rockies. Our favorite road team to fade.
There you go. There you go, man. In the chat here, our man Mario just got off the golf course just in time for my man Stern right there. Liddy asked how'd he shoot. 92, but drank 7 beers. There you go. 85. There you go. Shot in the 80s, my boy.
Does it hurt or does it help?
Beers?
Yeah.
There's a line, right? So a couple brews, dude, you get loose, you stop thinking, you just get up, hit the ball, let it rip. All right. A few more, you're feeling it. A few more, you start getting into the other side where you're like, oh, God, like, dude, start to spray it a little bit. It's going left, going right. Then if it's cart path only, you have to get out, walk all the way across the fairway. Yeah, there's a line. You got to pace yourself. Or you just go get smashed and you don't care what your score is. That's also fun. But, yeah.
I've got 2 goals this year. One is hit at a 70% hit rate on my picks. I'm really nearly there. I'm at 69% right now. All right. My second one is to play a full round of golf. I went to the golf range, went to Top Golf a few times this year. Never grew up with it, but I love playing it. I love like hitting the ball. So like that's my goal this year is to go out on, with a couple of friends.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know how those beers go and what beer I start getting too loose.
There you go. Like now, here's the deal. When you go out there, go out there to have fun. Don't worry about counting your strokes. Don't worry about, everything is like very serious. Keep the pace up, right? For, the other guys, but just go out there, just get a feel, have fun with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you'll be good. Big Randall man said, if you're not an 18 pack in, you're not golfing. There you go. Randall put down an 18 pack. Him and Benny in a cart together, man. DTL take over the golf course. Absolutely. All right. Now, what we're also trying to take over are two different things here. Number one, the NFL draft. So, offensive players, first round over 15.5, meaning 16 players or more drafted in the first round tonight that are offensive players. Got that at DraftKings. Take it minus 125. Next, two college baseball plays. We're going to take Oklahoma, Georgia, over 11, minus 115. We're also going to take Clemson, NC State, over 9.5 at minus 125. Shop your books here on both of these, right? And we just had it in the chat, and I'll show you why. Let me see if I can find it. Matty Boy said, yeah, Oklahoma, Georgia moved, took it 11.5 on FanDuel. There you go. All right, yeah, 11.5 is good. 11.5 is solid, right? I like it. I like it for sure. Millsy said, all right, AB, just got team totals, college baseball. I'm going Alabama, team total over 10.5 plus 100, and Arizona State, team total over 7.5 minus 120. What do you think? All right, so Alabama at home against Missouri. Missouri gives up a ton of runs. Alabama, they know that it's the bats going, that how that team delivers. Yeah. And if anybody has college baseball player props, your boy LeBron for Alabama. I mean, dude, he's the best player they have. He's always getting on base. Yeah, I like it. Over 10.5 plus 100. What's the total on that? 14.5. Yeah, I like the team total there. Missouri is they're kind of slaw. Arizona State, they have BYU correct at home. 7.5. I like that. Not a lot of humidity out in the West, but you should have wind actually that should play in your favor there. Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. They're pretty efficient numbers, you know what I mean? But I dig it. I dig it for sure. All right. So now we're gonna have way more of the NFL draft and the NBA. The reason why I don't have any NBA plays on there is because we're gonna do them together and we're gonna walk through it. I'm telling you, this is gonna be the biggest show that we've ever had on the Nightline show, because I think I dropped 30 slides already in the Discord. So we're going to go through it. If you don't know or haven't seen a single thing, and I'll pull these picks down. If you don't know or haven't seen a single thing in regards to the NFL draft for tonight, don't worry. You will be absolutely taken care of after this show ends. I assure you. Okay. But let's jump into the NBA first. All right. So here is what we have for tonight. We've got 3 games. Knicks and the Pistons. All right. Knicks 1.5 point favorite, total 214.5. Thunder Grizz. All right. Thunder road favorites. They lead the series 2-0. 9.5 point favorites in Memphis, total of 227.5. Nuggets Clippers. All right. Series tied 1-1. This is the first game that is in Los Angeles in the series. Clippers a 5.5 point favorite, a total of 213.5. So real quick, what we look at here is this. All right. Need everybody in the chat. Drop. What would be the one way that you would play this game or play any of these games? Okay. And let me see if I can get this up bigger. Yeah. All right. A spread or a total, right? Like what's your favorite look? What is your favorite spread? What's your favorite total? Like, how would you go about attacking these tonight? I'm interested in the total of the Nuggets and the Clippers, 213.5. Man, I feel like this could be an under. I feel like this could be an underplay. Marsh, what do you think, man? Anything stands out to you?
Well, we have a problem. I'm a Knicks fan, and I bet on the Knicks last game. Didn't work out well. I really kind of want to bet on them again, but I also kind of know that I'm a Knicks fan and that they're probably going to lose if I bet on them. So I'm going to bet on them and just pray to God that I unjinx myself.
Yeah. Hey, just bet on the Pistons. You win either way there.
Who was saying it the other day? Just bet against your happiness.
Oh, me. Like, do it. 100%. Yeah, it was TJ called it the happiness hedge. Yeah. Like,
That's the word.
Yep.
That's been living rent free in my mind for about 2 days.
Yep, dude, it's real. It's absolutely. I did it with Tennessee football all the time, right? Like, just do it. You win either way.
Brian, keep betting on Boston. I'm a Yankee fan.
There you go. Mill said, totals 14.5. I don't trust Missouri to put it up runs. Yep, completely agree. Completely agree. And, we have to factor in run rules. I'm saying Alabama's going to absolutely run rule Missouri, but anytime that you're doing it, you have to factor that in because then you're essentially needing Missouri at 4, 5, right? Yeah, I'm with you on that one, man. Question spelled out. Would you play Georgia, Oklahoma at 12? I would. Yep, I would. That's as high as I'd go, but I would. Christian said under 227.5 in Thunder Grizzlies. 1,000. I think, you know what? I think you might be right. I think that's probably the one. All right. I think that's probably the one. Now, Japan says OKC first quarter -3.5. All right. Keep dropping these in. I'm going to get to them. Keep dropping them in. But now let's hammer down on our player props. Okay. Big Brett, DK does void overs if a game doesn't finish 9 innings and the over hasn't hit. Yes, absolutely they do. That's why I like, he's talking about college baseball in regards to the run rule. So I love that they do that. Not every book does, but I love that DK does do that one. Okay, let's jump into the player props here. First game, Knicks and the Pistons. I'll pull this full screen. These are player points, all right? Let's identify who we like. Let's pick one. Now, drop them in the chat. Who you like, who you've got. And we'll look. Man, like, Tobias Harris feels like fool's gold. Like, his numbers are so low, and they seem attainable, but damn. Like, they're brutal to get to. If I had to choose one in terms of player points here, might be Josh Hart over 11.5. Or it might be... No. I'm taking it back. Malik Beasley over 14.5 points. Pistons. I'm taking Malik. Where are you going, bud? What do you got?
Honestly, I kind of like Mikal Bridges.
Yep.
No,
I see it. It's tough. Yeah, go ahead. Keep up.
Yeah, no real like statistical analysis. I just think he balls out. I think he's gonna hit. I think he's gonna. I think he's. Yeah, I think it's just his time. Been watching him. I like it. I like this flow.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Scott says, yeah, Karl Anthony Towns, over 21.5. Brian agrees with him there. Yeah, Scott, I have a feeling Towns has a huge night tonight. Christian said Cade over 28.5 at home. Yeah, like, I don't disagree on that. Like, it's a big number, but I mean, those are the ones that have been hitting. Like, not that that's a metric that, you could bank on, but star player props have been hitting in terms of points, man.
Well, if you need if you have a way to score and you're down, or you just know that you need a bucket, and I feel like a lot of teams are just kind of leaning on their stars for that, and I kind of like Cunningham. That's a great play.
Yep. Z Money said, I like Bridges points and assists over 18.5 as well. Nick's game plan last time was ISO ball with Brunson. It was a disaster. Game plan has to be to get others involved tonight. That's a good point right there. That's a really good point, man. Okay, so those are points. Keep dropping them in. What you got now? Same game. All right, threes. Okay, let's choose one. Or if you don't see anything, I mean, not like we have to play, each single one of them, right? But if I'm looking at threes here, man, Tobias Harris over 1.5 is so tempting. But dude, we just played this 2 nights ago and it bombed. Man, I might go Brunson over 2.5. Most, what are you thinking, man?
I think Brunson's probably the safer play. The reason why I chose Mikal Bridges before with the points is I think he gets it. I think he gets 2 or 3 even. One minus sprinkle on more.
Yeah. In the chat, man, Karl Anthony Towns getting love again, dude. You see Beasley, to get back on track tonight, did a mini threes ladder from a man, Ian Lights Out. There we go. Beasley over 3.5 threes. Yep. Scott Cat over 1.5 threes. Fade Hart. Detroit really limits the high effort plays. Cat over 1.5 threes from Scott. Dan says Tobias Harris points, 14.5 there. Liddy, KC, 4-4. There we go. And I like both those threes props. Yeah, it's these are interesting. This game could go a lot of different ways, man. A whole lot of different ways. Riding with TJ, OKC minus 3.5, under 234.5. That's a good look, dude. I like that a lot, man. All right, let's jump over to the next game here. Okay. Got the Thunder, Grizzlies, player points. All right, you see him on here. I'm gonna look to Memphis because I think Memphis knows this is it. If they don't win this game, I mean, it's, dude, OV, right? Desmond Bane, 20.5 is the look for me. Kennard over 4.5 is tempting, but I'm going to go Desmond Bane over 20.5. Moss, where you go, man?
I don't want to take Zach Edey because I feel like a lot of people are kind of on that. I'm going to go with Hartenstein, another ex-New York Knick.
There you go. You know, I like looking at the road team and, you know, guys who don't have numbers like, you know, SGA. And again, I'm not saying he can't get over 31.5. Like, there you go. But on the road, up 2-0, yeah, I like looking at a road team if they're going to be, you know, pretty nice, attainable numbers there. Scott said Morant over points with a ladder. Yeah, Ian said like Hartenstein, points, rebounds, and assists. I like it. All right, let's jump over to threes here and keep dropping them in. Yeah, Hartenstein. Yeah, it's not Frankenstein. There you go. Threes here. All right, where do we go? John Morant, if that was at 1.5 and not juiced, I'd look there. I'm not going 2.5. Dort over. I'm going Dort over 2.5 plus 105. Where you go, Motion?
Nobody bet this without maybe taking the Thunder money line as well. Shai Gillis, Alexander, I think 1.5. That's the only one that I kind of feel comfortable playing.
Yep. I feel you. I mean, you probably obviously have to parlay that minus 190, but again, yeah.
Go ahead. Based on kind of what everyone's been saying here, I kind of like this play. Why don't we take the Grizzlies first quarter, first half on the, you know, with the points, and then take Thunder with the money line at the end. You can throw in Shai Gillis Alexander for 2 threes as well.
All right, there you go.
I'm going to play that on one of my booths somewhere.
All right, there you go. Scott said parlay threes, John Morant with 1, dropping that down. I like that. Ian, Dort is usually auto cash. I agree, especially if this game does kind of get a little out of hand the other way, which I'm not saying that it will, but just the, you know, just the chance. Yeah, you could get Dort firing those for sure, man. Matty Boy said it's amazing how Future Lupus could change your whole outlook for it after they can do anything now. Absolutely, dude. Did you get the chicken or the seasoned beef? All right, so those are player threes. Let's go to the last game here. Nuggets at the Clippers, player points. I mean, obviously, Jokic is always tempting, but I'm going to go on the Clippers side. I'm going James Harden over 23.5. I feel like this is going to be a Harden night. What do you think?
Can I go with it? Can I go with an under?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
I kind of like Zubac under.
Okay. Under 16.5 points?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a tall task.
A tall task. It could be. All right. Threes. Harden is tempting, but minus 175. I'm not doing that. Damn. Jokic, 1.5 minus 155. That's just low enough at 1.5 that I'm not going to play an under. If it were 2.5, I'd play the under. And it's just juiced enough to where I'm not going to play the over. I'm going to go Kawhi Over 2.5. Maybe Westbrook. Yeah, I'm going to go Westbrook. Give me Westbrook over 1.5 plus 165. Where are you going?
Jamal Murray, plus money. I mean, if you're playing any of these at like one unit, let's say, I would totally take a half or a quarter on that, but I think Jamal Murray.
Okay, there we go. Christian said the same deal, man, on Westbrook. Yep, completely agree. He's going to shoot him. He is definitely going to shoot him, man. Bogdan, dude. Bogdanovich, baby. Get him one at minus 185. There you go. Okay, now I think that is all that we have for the NBA. Let's get the picks back up here. All right. Give them out for anybody who came in late. Pistons team total over 106.5. Thunder first half minus 4.5. And then the Nuggets team total over 103.5. Big Stern bets, what you got?
Orioles Nationals over 8.5. Just watch the runs flying. A great night for baseball. Also taking the Royals minus 1.5 at plus money, plus 110. Take it now.
Got him on the run line. Nice. All right. I'm going offensive players taken in the first round of the NFL draft tonight at over 15.5. I'm going to take college baseball, Oklahoma, Georgia over 11. I'm also going to take Clemson, NC State over 9.5. Make sure to shop your books. Excuse me. And yeah, get the best numbers that you can because they are different. All right. So those are our picks. Now, as we promised, dude, okay, the NFL draft is tonight. And what we're going to do here, all right, and let me say this. For anyone who's watching the show right now, yes, normally the show is 5 to 10 minutes max. That's the point of it. However, had so many technical issues this morning that we had a bunch of stuff that we needed to get to. And quite honestly, it kind of worked out. So we've gone through the NBA. All right, we've gone through the 3 games that we have tonight. Now, the NFL draft. All right. If you haven't seen a single thing about the NFL draft, we're going to walk through it together, all of us. So if you're somebody who's like, look, I just want the picks, get in and get out. That's why we always hit them at the top. You can get them, grab them, and go. But anybody that does want to go through the NBA and go through the NFL draft, hey, we got all the time in the world. We're going to do it. Now, so what I've put together here, okay? Scott said, yeah, see the T is turned off back. You know, yeah, none. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life right now. Okay, so what I've done is put together some of the bets, like from the books that we have. All right, we went through some of them this morning. All right, let's take a look at some other ones, and then I went through on ESPN and all their NFL team beat writers that are in said cities cover said team. I put together every pick they have in the first round of the draft, all of them for every single team. All right. Then we added up by position where said beat writers have that team going. All right. And we're going to compare that to the over-unders. All right. And get an idea of where we can go and how we bet it. All right. Sound good? Could you see the Titans taking Travis Hunter? No, only because the Titans have had so much craziness this offseason that taking one player, quarterback, is the way to go. Absolutely the way to go. Just for the simple sake of let's just calm everything down. You know what I mean? And they need a quarterback, right? But that's how we're going to get down on this one. Okay. So first off, all right, let's take a look at what we have, some of the bets, and we'll come back to these. All right. We'll get back to them. Don't worry. But just want to introduce this first. All right. So these are found at DraftKings, by the way. Cornerbacks in the first round. You see over 4.5 plus 275. I'm not going to read through every number. You guys can read. Nobody wants to hear that. But defensive lineman, edges, 8.5. Offensive lineman, 6.5. Total offensive players, you see it right there. Okay. Over 15.5, under 15.5. Right. Quarterbacks, 2.5, juice to the over. Running backs, 2.5, juice to the under. Wide receivers, 2.5, heavily juiced to the over. And Matt, yes, can these be parlayed? I believe so. It depends on the book. Let me say that. Let me take a step back. It depends on the book. DraftKings might let you do it. I don't know how the other ones do. Joe, there you go. All right, so it depends on the book. Mess around with it. I'm not sure. Joe is correct there. It's generally tough to do that, but I've seen DraftKings before. Okay, so those are positions. Now, you see by conference. Total ACC players, Big 10 players. All right, ACC 3.5, Big 10 9.5, Big 12 3.5, SEC 14.5. And again, we'll get back to these in just a second. I just want to introduce them first. All right, you see players to be drafted, top 10. Okay, you can see that. And again, all of these slides are in the Discord already. And finish it off with top 5 picks in the exact order. The exact order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. We'll take a look at that one at the end. Okay. So let me pull it back here. Let's see. Okay. So first slide here. Oh, all right. Spelled out. All right. So we just found out cannot. Okay. So can't parlay them. There we go. There we go. Yeah. What up?
Does it depend on the state? Because I know I'm in a state, Pennsylvania, it doesn't allow you to bet the draft unless you use an offshore book. I'm not really sure what we can and can't say yet on air.
Dude, I own it. You can say whatever the hell you want.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble any more than this week been enough. So yeah, so I don't know if it depends on maybe a different state you can parlay them. Just thought.
There you go. Yeah. You can say whatever you want in regards to that. Don't worry about that one. Okay, so to start off, all right, let's take a look at the amount of players by position. Okay, and again, this is going off of ESPN's, what do they call it? NFL Nation, their team beat writers, right? So I went through every pick, and we're gonna take a look at those in 5 seconds. But this is what you've got. Position, all right, the total amount that those beat writers collectively have by position, and then you see the parentheses, that is the over-under. Now, we don't have the juice, and it absolutely matters, but, all right, just wanted to get an idea and get it up there, okay? Quarterback, 2, over-unders 2.5. Running back, 1, over-unders 2.5. Wide receivers, 5. Look at that difference right there, okay? So circle wide receivers. Tight ends, I couldn't find really any good lines there. Offensive line, 6 going in the first round, projected over under 6.5. D-line and edge. Now, we have to understand how D-line, edge, and linebackers play into this, okay? Because I've seen a couple different, all right, in terms of how the books list them. So make sure to kind of find that out first, all right? But D-line and edge, 8 players, over-unders 8.5. Linebackers at 3. Couldn't find a line on that. Let's see. Cornerback 3, over-unders 4.5. Circle that one. Safeties 2. All right. And the over-under is 1.5. All right. Reporting back, there are indeed numerous arbitrations out there for the draft. Free. Hey, there we go. Drop in what you like, man. Addison, we really do appreciate you big time, man. Big time. Okay. So we'll get back to this right here. Okay. Again, now let's go through it. We're going to go 5 at a time. Okay. Titans, Cam Ward, Miami. Browns, number 2, Travis Hunter. All right. And again, these are ESPN's beat writers here. And go visit ESPN, support these guys, click on the links, yada, yada. All right. Giants, Abdul Carter, linebacker. Patriots, Will Campbell, offensive tackle. Jaguars, Ashton Gianti, running back, Boise State. Okay. So, Bosh, we're going to do this 5 at a time. All right. So what do you think here? Any surprises?
The only one that I'm praying for, and I would say it's probably a surprise if I'm praying for it as a Giants fan, is Abdul Carter going to them. I don't see it. I want it. I think that's what they should do. I think that's the right move. I don't know about Travis Hunter going to the Browns, though. I think that's risky. I think that's real risky for where they're at as a franchise.
You know, I'm interested to see if the Browns take offers to trade back.
I was kind of seeing the same thing with the Giants, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I could see it. I could see it. Yeah. And then Gianti going there at number 5 to the Jaguars. Seems like everybody's pretty locked in on that one, but we'll see. All right, so those are the top 5. All right, and we're gonna go through all of them. Keep dropping in the chat what you guys like, what you see. All right, so 6 through 10, Raiders. All right, Mibbo of Missouri. Okay, offensive lineman. Jets, again, Calvin Banks, offensive lineman, Texas. Panthers, Jalen Walker, linebacker, Georgia. And you see what I'm talking about here with the outside linebackers and edge? Like, again, I think that, it'll be pretty straight up how the books consider those positions, right? But, yeah, just make sure. Saints, defensive tackle, Mason Graham from Michigan. And the Bears, tight end, Tyler Warren from Penn State. All right. Any thoughts, anything stand out to you here, Mosh?
Not really. I think it's pretty solid. Focus on the line. I think the Jets, we always say this every year, that they're going to look ferocious, that they're going to have a good team. They're going to have it together this year. So I don't think they're really going to do it, but I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I think that they're going to want to build protection, and they're going to want to build guys that are ready to go and play right now. Scott said a lot of people have Warren to the Jets. I can absolutely see it. I can absolutely see it. All right. Nothing helps a quarterback more than an offensive lineman or a tight end. And Tyler Warren's stud out of Penn State, right? I mean, all these guys are right here. But, yeah, I could totally see that. So if you're betting, and again, we're going through this because some of you might bet by team, right? By position that they draft in the first round. There's so many ways to play it. So that's why we want to go through each one of these. But, yeah, I completely agree on that thought process in regards to the Jets. Matty Boy, what's standing out to me is the absence of the burgundy and gold on these first 2 screens. Nice. Well played. Well played. All right. 11 through 15. 49ers. All right. Michael Williams, Georgia. Fitzvin, Cowboys. All right. This feels like a wide receiver play. Like the Cowboys feel like they're going to try to make some noise here. Yeah. So McMillan out of Arizona. Dolphins. All right. Barron, cornerback out of Texas. Colts, tight end. Loveland out of Michigan. That dude can play. He feels like a Colt. Then the Falcons, 15. Mike Green, defensive end out of Marshall. So again, throw it to you. Thoughts? What do you see?
Dolphins probably going to have to, replace Jalen Ramsey, right? Kind of like it. I would take it. Dallas Cowboys, I think they need to work on their protection, maybe some defense. I never really like taking wide receivers in the first round. It's not really, who am I to say any of this, but I just don't, go with defense. Like you said earlier, like go with people who are ready to help you win now. If you're going to pick someone who's going to be like a franchise changer in a few years, sure. But it doesn't really work out that way. It's all random. You don't know how these kids are going to really play out in a professional environment. The speed's different. The play is different. I'm always rooting for defense.
There you go. The Cowboys are like Jerry Jones also hinted at some kind of massive trade. Like who knows what they're going to do. All right, so that's 11 through 15. 16 through 20. Cardinals. All right, Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama. The Bengals here, defensive end. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name. Donovan. That's where we're going. Defensive end out of Boston College. Seahawks. Zabel, guard, North Dakota State. Don't know too terribly much about him. I've seen the highlights there, but Buccaneers, Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan. Defense, always feels like a play that the Bucs would go to with their coaching staff. Broncos, Luther Bird III, wide receiver out of Missouri. All right, your thoughts here? Anything?
Not really. Donovan Zuraku. I don't really know how to say his name. I think that's probably where I would go on this. But again, that's really going on my defense. Pick defense that are going to help you play now. And the Bengals have holes that they need to fill. Plain and simple.
There you go. I like it. The Cardinals pick makes sense to me. The Bengals, that pick absolutely makes sense to me. They have to fix the defense. Absolutely. And remember, the Bengals spent all of their money on the offense, which I'm not saying it's a bad move, but they spent all their money on the offense, and they just got rid of Lou Anarumo. Rumo, all right, defensive coordinator there, because all their players were gone after that Super Bowl, right? So defense, I would be shocked if the Bengals do anything but. I'm not saying it's exactly him, but I would be shocked if it's not a defensive player. Seahawks, I guess. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. The Buccaneers, that one absolutely makes sense. Defense there. Broncos, yeah, I could see it. I could see it.
I think they have a really bad track record of taking high-end wide receivers and then doing nothing with them.
Yeah. Like, I think the Broncos definitely do want to build up their offense for sure. Is it burden? I don't know. Right. But I do feel like the Broncos offensively would be the look. Dude, I know. Dude, I could not get that last name out. I know. Dusty, I couldn't get it out at all. Luther Burbank on the top 20. Yeah, like that, that player could be a stretch, right? But I do think the Broncos, definitely look to go that route. Okay, 21 through 25. Here we go. Steelers, Shedeur Sanders. All right, that's 2 quarterbacks. Okay, over under 2.5. Chargers. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle. I could absolutely see that. Chargers definitely went, offensive line last year. That feels like a Harbaugh pick. Packers. All right, Stewart, defensive end out of Texas A&M. See it. Vikings. Eamon Worry out of South Carolina. Safety. Vikings fans, you tell me. And then the Texans. All right. Not gonna look. Emeka Egbuka. Yeah, I think I got it. Wide receiver out of Ohio State. Let me just say this: if your ass is gonna draft a wide receiver, take him from Ohio State, because that's wide receiver you. Them dudes show up. There's a million of them, man.
And he's versatile. Like, he's much more versatile than some of these other players who only have one game. Like, you're either going to be running routes, you're going to be running slots. This guy can really do it all. I don't think that he's the perfect physical specimen, but he's a pretty solid pick. And you're right. Ohio State knows how to build them.
Oh, God. I mean, dude, I saw it firsthand. They put it all over us there in the college football playoff. But, nah, man. I mean, yeah, I can totally see it. Totally see it. All right. So the big one up top, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Shedeur Sanders, right? I bet this morning I'm going the opposite route. I bet on Milroe, but Sanders speed. Look, did you have some?
I don't think they're taking Sanders either.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Milroe. I don't think they are. I think Sanders is not too high of a risk to really bet your franchise on it.
Yeah. And the fascinating part is Aaron Rodgers in all of this, right? Like what happens with him? Well, I'll tell you what happens with him. My best bet of the NFL draft all weekend is that he sends a tweet or does something to get some attention to himself. I guarantee that's going to happen.
I would take that, but it would probably be at minus 500.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that man is focused on, is attention to himself. Spell Sanders and Mike Tomlin will clash. I can see it. Like, I feel like there's a reason why I bet Milroe. I think that he is kind of a blend of Fields and Wilson from last year. But we'll see. I mean, it seems pretty consistent or consensus that the Steelers are going to go quarterback. So we'll find out there. All right, 26 through 30. Okay, the Rams. All right, Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas. Ravens, Malachi Stark, safety of Georgia. Lions, James Pierce. So they've got him listed outside linebacker again, out of Tennessee. Again, I mean, he was an edge player. Like, if you're betting on the over-under of defensive line, edge, like, make sure to get clarification here. But Pierce, hell of a player. It'd make a lot of sense for the Lions. I could absolutely freaking see that. The Commanders, Matty Boy, there you go. Maxwell Hairston, cornerback out of Kentucky. He can play. And then the Bills round that out at 30. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle for Michigan. I can absolutely see that. The Bills, it feels like a very blue-collar type draft for them. All right. What says that to you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think you nailed the Bills. They are Bills Mafia for a reason. They are tough. They're looking to hit you, and they're not messing around. They're going to go out and bully you physically on the field. I like it. I like the crime there.
There we go. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Mills said, just found head-to-head. Yep, they got head-to-head draft positions. Is it James Pierce versus Jalen Monroe? Pierce is minus 350, but I think, well, the thing is, this bet comes down to, does Monroe go to the Steelers? That's what it comes down to, right? So you're essentially betting on, is Monroe, because if Monroe doesn't go to the Steelers, I don't think that he might not go in the first round. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much where that one comes down to. Rusty, housekeeping, you and me? You talking about from Tommy Boy? I couldn't do the voice perfect. Spelldog said Pierce to the Chiefs. Man, I mean, he would fit. He would fit. Is anybody always aware of someone desperate trading up? Yeah, Lions taking a quarterback. That'd be fascinating. Josh, who? Spelldog Chiefs usually not afraid to take chances. Yep. Let's see here. Does Aaron Rodgers will say? I mean, if they get Rodgers in normal Rodgers mode, right? Focused, like, guy can play. You know what I mean? I'm just so fascinated what the Steelers do. And then the final two here, the Chiefs taking Josh Simmons, offensive tackle from Ohio State. Yeah, that is a solid play. That dude's a stud. And the Eagles, Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. That is an absolutely perfect place for Walter Nolan. And my God, the Eagles defensive line adding even more. Dude. Big Brett said, who's drafted Nico this weekend? Indian card scammers. Yeah, anybody selling your car warranty is out of service. That's who's drafted. Yeah, all right. So those are the final two. Your thoughts, man. What do you think here?
So I am in Eagles town right now, and gosh, that defense is scary. And I think that they're upset at themselves that they even let up as many runs, as many yards as they did. I really think that they're going to be focusing on the defense. They're good offensively. They don't need any more weapons, right? They're solid. I think their defense is just gonna got to step it up, and they're going to be really, really dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, look, Walter Nolan can absolutely freaking play. And Scott, right here, heard another podcast of execs say Nolan will go top 50. You know what? Like, honestly, if there's a player, do you hit a bet? What's going on?
Yeah, we just we hit Royals first 5 win only, and I was so nervous because they let up 4 runs. Cole Reagan's let up 4 runs, not striking people out after 4 innings. But yeah, sorry, I've been paying attention the whole time, and I'm like, yeah, come on, Royals, let's do it.
Hey, that's why we're here. I love it, man. Nice job, dude. Yeah, and what Scott's saying about Nolan, I can absolutely see it. Dude's a stud. And defensive line guys like that, they're not always easy to find. If you're looking for a player that could go much higher than what is projected here, hell yeah. Scott, I completely agree with that here. All right, so that's it. Now, we pull this back down. So again, all right, we've gone through all that. Pull this up here. Does this change anything that you see? Quarterbacks 2, running back 1, wide receiver 5. Okay, tight end didn't have it. O-line 6, edge 8, linebacker 3, cornerback 3, safety 2. So let's go back and take a look at the betting options that we have. What sticks out to me, okay, like wide receivers is ridiculous. Like this doesn't even feel like DraftKings is paid any attention to this whatsoever, right? Running backs under 2.5 minus 155 is a play. Now I know that it's juiced up, but I mean, like we didn't even get to 2, and you need to get to 3 here. Quarterbacks under 2.5 plus 120 is a look. That's a look, man.
That's where I went yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's still where I solidly feel. Because just remember, like, these are all, I feel like, in terms of our analysis of it, it's going to happen 50-50. A lot of these things, like, we don't really have a solid beat on this. If you're getting plus money on betting that people are going to be just slightly more nervous than you think drafting a franchise quarterback, I think this is solid.
Yeah, I agree. You see it, offensive players in that list, adding them up, they had it. And again, these beat writers didn't do it all together, right? Like it wasn't like, hey, all right, you go this, get like did it, singularly and submit it in. They had it exactly at 16 offensive players and 16 defensive players. Offensive linemen, 6.5. Under 6.5 is a look. Plus 155, under 6.5 is a look, man. Defensive line edge, again, I mean, make sure to clarify this. Under 8.5 is a look, dude. And then cornerbacks, I mean, I don't know if it's playable. I'm not going over 4.5. Anything else stand out to you most?
No, I would always go with defense. I think defensive players are going to get the first looks.
Yeah, that 4.5, like that's a lot. And I'm not playing under 4.5. Like I'm not playing minus 400, right? So, yeah, that one's tough. All right, ACC players here. The only ones that are playable, would be ACC over, which I don't know. Big Ten players over. That's playable. Over 9.5. There's a lot of Big Ten in there. Big 12. I'm not messing with that one. SEC. I'm not. I mean, under 14.5 is a look. I mean, let's just count it real quick. All right. Ole Miss 1. All right. Kentucky 2, Tennessee 3, Georgia 4, Texas 5, South Carolina 6, Texas A&M 7, Missouri 8, Alabama 9, Texas 10, Georgia 11, Missouri 12, Texas 13, Georgia 14, LSU 15. There you go. Now, Brett said, how about non-4 selected in the first round? Yeah, I didn't see the option to bet it. You know what I mean? Scott, ACC, I went under 3.5. Yeah, I can see that. Money, there isn't a line for safeties. I would assume it's corners only. It's so strange of like the ones that they choose to do and the ones that they choose not to, right? So that is by conference. All right, top 10. Man. I mean, anything playable starts with McMillan at plus 225. I don't know if I see anything here. Mosh, do you see anything?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. Again, McMillan, go. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to go. I think Jackson Dart. Okay, let me say this. Jackson Dart at 9 to the Saints is in play. It's very, low probability, but I'm telling you it's in play. If you wanted to take a shot, that'd be the guy. He's either going to go top 10 or not in the first round. But I'm fascinated with that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
That would kill the under 2.5.
Yeah, it would.
I clearly don't think he will, but that is probably how that over 2.5 gets into play.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Also, once one QB kind of comes off the board, well, I should say 2 in this draft. After the second QB comes off the board, depending how early, sometimes I feel like, and this could just be my perception, teams kind of panic and they're like, oh, wait a minute, there's only X number of QBs left on the board. We got to take them. We got to go.
Yeah.
Because there's a perceived value that is greater than all the other positions there, which I don't think it's true. I just think it's a perceived value. And I think that pressure might play into it, but Nah.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, and the last one here, top 5 picks in exact order. There are 2 that I could see happening. All right, look at that plus 1,300. Cam Ward, Browns go Abdul Carter, Giants go Travis Hunter. All right, Will Campbell, Ashton Jeanty. Now, again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying out of this list, what stuck out to me was that one plus 1,300. Okay. And then inverse it with the Browns and the Giants. All right. Plus 2,200. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Jalen Walker, Ashton Jeanty. I actually like that plus 2,200 more than I like the plus 1,300, to be honest with you. Yeah. I think I'm going with that one, plus 2,200. Mosh, anything you see here?
No, honestly, that I was going to be like, that's 2,200, but
yeah, no, I agree. Like I think that has a that has a real shot. I mean, Jalen Walker is obviously your inflection point there, but
I think
yeah.
No, go on.
I was done. You're good. I was done.
I see it. I really do see it. Out of all of these, like there's reasons why I don't like the other ones, like Shitter Sanders. I don't think it's going to be picked. Like Mason Graham, I don't think. Armand Ben, like I don't see it for a lot of these guys. I just don't. That's a solid one. And honestly, like if you're going to be picking these things, most of these plays on the individual odds, it's probably the one that I would take.
Yep, I agree. Z-Body said both of those have JT at number 5 for you. Yes. To the Jaguars. Absolutely.
I think that's the only one that a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, because, and I'll tell you why, man, and I'll pull this down here, and I'll tell you why. Dude, the Jaguars, like, not that they don't have running backs. I mean, they do, right? Like, but the thing is, they just need friggin' help. They need help for Trevor Lawrence, and he's learning. Like Trevor Lawrence is on his, I think, 4th different offense now because he's gone through so many coaches already in his young career. Now, again, they've got dudes back there, but they've also had injury at that position, and that's the problem. I feel it for the Jaguars, but I mean, we'll see. But it makes sense because they need help. They need offensive help, and they need a tough back who can not only run hard, but is solid in pass pro too. And that's another thing. You've got to be good in pass pro, right? And look, I'll say this. Hold that thought. So Mills said, rumor the Bears traded up to 5 for JT. You know what? That would still cash it. That's still cash that. It doesn't say what team it has to be, just the position, right? I can see it. And back to it with Pass Pro there. Yep, solid trade agreement in place. There you go. I mean, that would lock it in there, right? But again, pass protection for running backs, like that. Derrick Henry, you notice Derrick Henry comes out on 3rd downs. He's done it his whole NFL career. It's not great at pass protection. That's why. Which is crazy because he's a monster. But you know who was been one of the best pass protection running backs in the last 25 years of the NFL? Ezekiel Elliott. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, right? And a guy who can, pass pro, catch short pass. Like it gives you so much versatility. I could totally see it there. But yeah. All right. Yeah. We'll jump out of here. Any final thoughts, Wash, before we go?
No, I just have this image. I think it was Michael Carter on the Jets last year, maybe the year before that. I just have this image of this like really small guy getting flattened, just purely flattened, trying to do pass protection. And you're like, they're not going to put him down there, 3rd down again.
Yeah, you're done. Like, dude, it pass pro is not easy, and it's not always the biggest dude. It's not always the smallest. Like you've got to be committed to it. And he's a big boy.
Got to grip and fall back.
Yeah, and not hold though, right?
Don't get caught holding.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Because then it's bad. Then it's real bad. Oh my God, man. Trivia on this. Anyone know who the last running back was drafted after a team traded up in the top 5 to get him? Reggie Bush? Trent Richardson? Is it Trent Richardson? Trent Richardson. There we go. The big boy. Alabama. Oh, there we go. Dude, that was good trivia, man. Brett, that was awesome, dude. That was great. All right. We'll jump out of here, man. Again, hopefully this helped. All of these slides are in the Discord. It's free. Jump in there. You can see the QR code right there at the bottom. Scan it, jump in, and you can see right there all of the slides so that you can reference those as you make your bets for tonight. But my man Stern Bets, Alabama, everybody have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Be live Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, normal time. Till then, cash these bets, hit these tickets, and let's go.
Who's got it better than us?